We good? All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the Common Council meeting to order. I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Nolan.
Present.
Roach.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Weichel. Grisham.
Here.
Grove.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Halverston.
Here.
Keen.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
10 present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I was told by some people that several of you were told there was a meeting on the flooding tonight. I don't know where that came from or where that started, but the only thing on our agenda regarding the flooding tonight is a continuance of the declaration of emergency, which allows us to pool resources and streamline services with other entities. So I'm not sure where that rumor started. There are not, to my knowledge, FEMA lawyers present. I don't know who told you that. So I apologize. I guess I really don't know what else to say. Yeah, I mean, I'll go through this when I do my mayor's report, but we've posted a lot of information, and I know a lot of you, just seeing a few familiar faces in the audience, have seen that. Okay, we can talk during recess if you can stick around for a bit. I will say during my mayor's report that the most important thing everybody can do right now is report any damage they have, no matter how small, to the Milwaukee County Emergency Management System of 211. This is what the state of Wisconsin collects through the county, and if the governor is requesting federal assistance through FEMA from the president, we have to reach a certain threshold. And that's why we're telling, and every community is telling every resident, no matter how small the damage is, to report it, because we need them to collect everything. And I was told some people have already had 211 reps at their house since they reported on Monday. So with that being said, if you can stick around during recess, we'll make every effort to answer individual questions. But right now, I have to stick on the agenda because that was what was published, and that is what the open meetings law requires. So I apologize for those of you that were here in error. Now, if you are able, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderwoman Noling. Okay. And we are going to be printing some copies of the agenda that we have on our website as well. So if anyone wants to stick around, just if you haven't gotten that information, we'll print it up. We will now move to item D, public hearings this evening. We have 2 public hearings. I'll ask the clerk to read public hearing number 1.
Special event permit and zoning exception request for Novak Manor, a proposed temporary event space located at 9730 West Montana Avenue.
Thank you. Turn it over to staff.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Steve Scher. I'm the Director of City Planning and Zoning. And the Novak Manor is proposed at 9730 Montana Avenue. The picture in the upper corner is what it looks like pretty much year-round. And then during the Halloween season, it's converted into a haunted house. They have applied for a special event permit. That special event permit also does prompt a public hearing before the Common Council with respect to our municipal code. There is a special exception for this type of event or event space theater type of operation within the municipal code. Otherwise, this property is zoned residential and functions that way the majority of the year. This is a local attraction, does attract thousands of people during the Halloween season. They will have a tent and then also habitate portion of the garage as well as their yard area for the haunted house event. The Novak Manor does feature live actors. They do request a small dollar donation. Those proceeds go to a benevolent organization. Primarily the street and sidewalk area is utilized for staging people that are waiting to get into the yard or the property area for the event, and then as they walk through, and then they walk from the sidewalk into the property and walk through the property for the feature. There is an operational plan that has been submitted as part of the special event, and as part of that application that's been submitted, they've shared with us this the site plan, and it's basically very similar to what was presented last year, with some updates on the routing through the property. But in essence, people do stage along the city sidewalks along either 98th Street or Montana Avenue, and are directed then into the property at the southeast corner of the site, up the driveway and into the site, into the property, where they'll follow that red line through a maze of different activities, going past some of the actors, animatronics, and so on for a scare. They will be applying for a temporary occupancy permit as part of this, as required through this special event process. And then there will be 4 refuse containers on the site in the various, I think, roughly distributed throughout the property. And it will be an 11-day event, basically each Friday and Saturday, starting on the September 26th and then concluding on Halloween on the 31st. The hours of the event are 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., and there are no makeup dates. So if you have bad weather, that's just it. They're going to have fewer days. There is no food, transient merchant, or alcohol on this as part of this event. It's strictly prohibited, nor is it proposed. So there have been prior years, very few, if any, incidents. The neighborhood last year, we had considerable testimony from the neighborhood last year in support of this event. So that was presented last year. This year, I have received no objections to date. I've received one positive comment, and I'm just sharing below some of the comments with positive comments from last year down below. But a notice of public hearing has been published in the official paper, and there have been no objections to date. So that concludes my public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Are there any questions from the council on our first public hearing? We'll go to the public next. We ask for questions from the common council first, and then we open it up for questions from the public. I'm not seeing any questions from the common council. If there are questions from the audience, we ask that you please come up to the podium and turn on the, thank you, Gail, and then please, if you can, sign in. Yes. We gotta talk.
My name is Mary Trudell. I live at 9800 West Montana Avenue. I contemplated not attending this hearing because, based on history, this event permit will be approved and sanctioned by the City of West Allis. However, I'm coming before the council to make you aware of safety concerns for myself and other residents in the neighborhood due to this city-sanctioned event. I reconsidered my initial decision because if I didn't come, I lose my voice in this situation. As a citizen who pays taxes, just as the owners of the haunted house do, it is my right as a tax-paying citizen to expect to live in a safe and quiet neighborhood. It is a disruption to my life as a homeowner during the autumn with safety concerns and diminished quality of living, such as not able to leave windows open on pleasant fall evening weekends due to the noise. I am not naive, and I realize the city will most likely approve this event despite objection from neighbors. I will not use this limited time to vent, rather outline concerns with recommendations. The letter from the city states the haunted house is active for 5 Fridays and Saturdays, beginning September 25th. However, props are already being set up, albeit in the perimeter of their fence. I'm sure as soon as this permit is approved as city sanction, the props will begin to be placed in the regular yard. Props begin to be set up in the yard in August last year. As soon as the props begin to be put up, people start coming around. Even outside of the active hours during the week, there are people walking through the maze. Cars stop there late at night, and people are walking through the exhibit. My bedroom window faces east toward their house, so I hear car doors slamming, music, and screaming late at night during the week. My recommendation is to place a snow fence or no trespassing signs during non-active hours to prevent after-hours disruption outside of the active event hours. Last year, a sign with rules for attending the haunted house was placed on the immediate corner of Novak's property on the northeast corner of 98th and Montana Avenue. Per legal driving rules, when driving south on 98th Street and stopping before the stop sign on Montana, the sign obstructed the view east to see if cars, bikes, or people were coming down Montana Avenue. I had to inch forward past the stop sign until the view up the street was clear and determined it was okay to proceed. Patty and Adam were outside last year, and I asked if the sign could be moved to not obstruct the view up the street. The response from Adam was no. I was surprised at the tone of the response because it had been told to neighbors to bring concerns forward and they would be addressed. Patty was more receptive to the concern and walked over, asking me to show the obstruction. We walked in the middle of the road and stopped where a car should legally stop before the stop sign. She looked left, and stated, "Oh, I see what you mean." However, the sign wasn't moved. My recommendation is that this is a safety violation to ensure unobstructed view up the street. Move the sign to the entrance of the event to not obstruct the view. I have an annual garden. When the dates open up to place brush in the curb last year, I had a windrow of brush in the curb in front of my house on Montana Avenue. Visitors to the haunted house drove over the brush to park. As more cars parked there, the brush compressed. When the city leaf scooper, I don't know what the name of it is, but we'll call it a leaf scooper, came to clear brush, they were unable to clear that area in the curb due to the brush being so compacted and smashed to the road. I had to go out with a shovel and loosen everything so the city could remove it with the next pass. I follow the rules of brush dates and placing brush in the curb. It takes time to cut and put everything in the curb. Then I needed to go out and loosen the compacted brush off the road to be picked up by the leaf scooper. My recommendation is I would like no parking signs placed from the northwest corner on Montana Avenue up to 10 feet from the neighbor's driveway at 9808 West Montana Avenue during the season of the haunted house, so I can legally place my brush in the curb and the city can collect the brush without it being compacted by visitors to the event, necessitating further effort by me to ensure it is able to be removed appropriately by the city. Last year, there was also exhibition driving occurring in which cars would rev up and go fast down Montana or 98th Street, which is a safety concern due to the increased pedestrian foot traffic. Recommendation is to provide regular police patrol during the city-sanctioned event. In addition, I would also like assurance that neighbors in the immediate location of Novak Manor are not liable for any injuries to visitors attending this city-sanctioned event. This is a concern with the volume of pedestrian vehicle traffic. As I noted earlier, I understand this event under the guise of charity will most likely be approved and sanctioned by the city. But I also expect that homeowners surrounding the haunted house who are impacted by this event will be respected as well. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for your comments.
Hello, I'm Adam Novak, the owner of this local attraction. So good evening. I'm a lifelong resident and half of the amazing team that runs Novak Manor at 9730 West Montana Avenue. I want to first sincerely thank each and every one of the council members that approved our permit for last year. The 2024 special event permit enabled us to see over 8,000 visitors, donate over $13,000, including $8,000 to Bikers Advocating Child Safety, $2,200 to the Junior Bulldogs, and $2,000 to a local family struggling due to an injury. These donations reflect the positive impact of the permit and the community's support. I want to send another special thank you to Alderwoman Grisham for coming out with your family and seeing the manor firsthand. For us, being able to explain what we do is one thing, but for someone to come out and see it and how serious we take it, and their enjoyment is priceless. As we are excited about the future and look forward to this year, 2025, we will see Novak Manor again applying for the special event permit. As last year went off without any issues, not one complaint to the city, not one complaint to the police department, we would hope that the entire council again would vote yes to keep this local treasure going. And woo City Clerk for getting all these permits. I know July was rough for you. Thank you once again for your trust and support. Hope to see you all at the manor.
Thank you. Are there any other questions, comments from the public? I think, is your microphone turned on? Oh, we just want to be able to hear you.
Sure. My name is Peggy Hertel. I live at 9814 West Montana, so I am about 3 houses away. I wasn't sure if this was going to be an annual request or if somebody had complained again, which was why I came. I'm not a big fan of Halloween, but the Novaks have always been good neighbors, and they've always addressed any concerns that any of the neighbors have had. I've lived there for 10 years. This, where I live, was my father's house, so I was there many times since they've started this. My only suggestion, which to take into consideration, is potentially adding a temporary stop sign on 98th and Montana. The traffic is quite bad during those weekends. And also, just as they do for Candy Cane Lane, if there's a way to make only one-sided parking on those 2 days each week. There's so many kids coming, and I don't have little kids anymore, but the people across the street from me do, and I see kids getting out of cars and darting through. And it's really hard to get out in and out of our driveway. We have plenty of parking. We have like 6 cars in my family, but having to have one-way parking or one-sided parking from 96th Street to 99th Street on Montana, and then from Rosedale to Dakota on 98th Street, I think would enhance the safety of the event. People may have to park a little further away in the neighborhood, but just because they are driving or slowing down, people are looking for parking, it would make much more sense to only have parking on one side of the street. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience that wishes to address the council under public hearing number 1? Okay, if not, we will close our first public hearing, and I will ask the clerk to read public hearing number 2.
Conditional use permit for the Butcher's Word, a proposed food production use at 1320 South 108th Street.
You'll turn it over to staff.
Thank you, Mayor. The Butcher's Word is a proposed butcher shop, a meat market, retail shop, and event space in a former furniture store on Highway 100 and Greenfield Avenue. the focus of this business is going to be a community-focused business that's going to include not only fresh meat displays and tasting events, but also some cooking classes, inviting perhaps local chefs and presentations from regional farmers. They also intend to have a market space with rotating vendor area showcasing local artisans and producers. They will have 6 to 10 employees, initially starting out with roughly about 6 to 8, and then growing over time. They do intend to have a liquor license for Class A, that's packaged sales to consume off-premise, and they would need to come back if they seek to pursue on-site consumption for special events. They would perhaps require a separate license of the council. The overall site is 3/4 of an acre. The building on site is multi-tenant and is actually about 30,000 square feet. The tenant space for the butcher shop, the overall tenant space is about 5,700 square feet. The zoning of the property is C3 commercial. Food production uses are allowed as a conditional use permit. The hours are primarily business hours, Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 9 to 5. Special events such as those cooking classes or tasting events could potentially go a little bit longer, but they're not anticipated to go beyond 9 or 10 p.m. The site plan improvements that are shown or indicated as part of the scope of work are relatively minor in nature. There's 2 points of emphasis within the site plan here. At the entrance to the site, which is in this red oval shaped area here, this is the primary entrance to the building. And if you take a look at sort of a close-up view of that area right now, the access to that old American furniture store had some land and stone outcroppings and planters. Those are going to be removed as part of the new butcher shop, and that whole area is going to be sort of cleaned up and minimized as far as that land and stone goes. They'll focus on other aesthetics upon your main entrance to that building, such as planter boxes or trellises, maybe some accent lighting, and as well as building signage. Furthermore, on the very north end of the site, which is closer to Madison Street, that's the street that runs east and west off of Highway 100, there is somewhat of an existing refuse area in that location now. At least it has been historically. That area will function as the refuse location. It'll be screened from view within a 4-sided enclosure, not only for the butcher shop, but for a future tenant that is coming soon within this area here. It's a consignment furniture store within this area. So there will be there is existing off-street parking for about 25 vehicles. That includes handicapped or ADA parking stalls, and there will be deliveries daily. I guess the quantity of deliveries taking place will vary in the volume. Some days you'll have very small, 1 box at a time. Other days there may be more, but they are focusing on both. Depending on the size of the deliveries, those could be accommodated both within the off-street parking lot or from the alley vantage point behind the building, which is sort of on the top of the screen back here, running off of Madison and then heading south back towards Greenfield Avenue. And this is the floor plan that's been submitted. It's been modified a little bit just to sort of show the 2 different portions of the building. The retail space in the sort of light orange color just sort of shows that's the public-facing side of the building, which is going to be about 2,500 square feet in size, approximately. The remaining balance is the back-of-house operations, where the butcher shop, the meat cutting area, the office area, storage and receiving, a freezer area, and kitchen are going to be occupy that portion of the building. The service counter for the butcher shop is going to be, as you enter the building, it'll be immediately to your left, and then you'll have the boutique sort of event and marketing space for different retail items and different events that take place on that site in this area. And then your very front of house, along the frontage of Highway 100, is going to be right up in front, where you have different meat displays, spices and sauces, and those types of offerings, cooler cases up in the front of that portion of the building. The storefront windows along that Highway 100 frontage will remain and will help showcase their displays. In terms of the architectural plan, the form of the building is really going to stay the same. However, there will be maintenance updates, primarily in addition to the business signage on the building, cleanup and freshening up, tuck pointing as needed of that rear alley elevation. Majority of that building, aside from just the butcher shop, but the majority of that frontage along the alley really does need a fresh coat of paint and, I guess some cleanup and then a fresh coat of paint. And that will be tended to by the butcher shop as well as the property owner of this site. The recommendation from the Planning Commission was to approve the conditional use for the Butcher's Word. Notice has been published in the official paper, and property owners within 200 feet have been notified. The Planning Department has received no objections to date. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Scher. Are there any questions on public hearing number 2 from the members of the Common Council?
Mayor Devine.
Alderwoman Keene.
Steve, so they're purchasing, I don't know if you can go back to that original one. They're purchasing that whole entire property, right? So like the very north side is that brewery and furniture store, or they're just purchasing in red there?
Just, yeah, the dashed red area is going to be the 5,700 square feet of butcher shop. So the Bill Byers, who's going to be the proprietor, they are leasing that from a property owner. So there is a separate landlord,
Okay.
And they are going to be leasing from that landlord.
And then can you show me again, like from this map, where would the dumpsters be placed?
Sure. The dumpsters will be here in the north, so
Okay.
between Madison and the building.
And do we know at all how often the dumpsters are going to be picked up? And I'm just curious, is it going to be standard? I just am nervous in mid-August if what's being thrown out is a bunch of carcass-like material or stuff that can rot, what that smells like, and I just don't want it to be obviously invasive to any neighbors.
Yeah, the dumpster frequency of pickup has been indicated to us about 2 times weekly.
Oh, okay.
That could vary a little bit depending on, holiday season. It may need an
Right.
additional time. If it's in slower times of the year, maybe once a week. The refuse is mostly like, I guess what's being thrown out is going to be very similar to any other like restaurant or commercial kitchen in town. It's not going to be, we're told not going to be blood, guts.
Okay.
I know we had a Halloween item just prior to this, but I mean, these are going to be, the intent is, a clean dumpster, sanitary dumpster condition that's going to be screened from view and kept,
Thank you.
sealed and contained as best possible to avoid problems with neighborhoods or vermin and so on.
Perfect, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions from the Common Council on public hearing number 2? Seeing none, are there any questions or comments on public hearing number 2 from the members of the audience? Seeing none, we will close our second public hearing. And we will move on to Part E, which is public participation. This is where the council may receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. Each speaker must announce to the council their name and their address, sign in at the podium, and limit their comments to one statement of no longer than 5 minutes. The Common Council cannot take action on speakers raised by the topics and will not discuss the topics with the speakers. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council under public participation this evening? Please come up to the podium. Go ahead. It's a free-for-all.
All right, so my name's Christine Krubel. I'm here on behalf of my family. I live out in Heartland, but I inherited my grandmother's duplex on 80th between Beecher and Grant, which is one of the areas that was really affected by the flooding. If you hear my voice, I have no health issues, and this is from 5 minutes with a mask on in that house on Sunday, and it's not going away. Like, it's becoming a public if you go on these streets, there's so much garbage. I'm dry heaving in the lawn. Like, there's no getting anything out. Majority of the houses in those areas, I mean, we have a neighbor that was rescued. They're deaf. We had the house next to that, complete structural damage. I don't know, my grandmother, if the house that I own, if that has structural damage, just because we can't get to the basement. I mean, the water was so high, it's unbelievable for even people that had flooding in West Allis to go down these streets and see. It's very sobering. So we can't get to the basement yet. We have people coming in, but it's a total loss, like 3 floors, and I have a disabled uncle who lives there. We had to get him out. At this point, I guess, I know you're not answering questions, but we have talked to, I know part of this is rumor, but there have been some credible sources of people that work for the city that have just, been saying that these sewer systems they're over 7 years old and they haven't been serviced or maintained regularly. So I guess I would ask, and I'll probably formally ask, but can we get a log of when these were placed, when they were serviced, things like that, just to have some transparency. And then another thing, partly rumor and partly some people from the state fair are saying that they had redirected water with that pump when they started flooding, and that it's kind of a culmination of going downhill, and that could have made the flooding in that area much worse. So I guess I'm interested in getting that information as well to see, and if there was like any thought into where that water went, if it was indeed redirected. We have dumpsters and trucks and stuff coming out and picking it up, but it's a public safety hazard right now, and there's still people staying in their homes. I don't live there, I get to leave, but I was pulling over on the side of the street puking, or no, I haven't eaten in 2 days because, everyone's lost so much, but just dry heaving, it's terrible. Like, I implore you, just go down there where it's affected the most, just roll your windows down. It smells so bad. It's listen to me. I'm getting sick from it, and I can't imagine what everyone else that doesn't have anywhere else to go. So I guess we need resources there for sure. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Sure, I'll finish this. So no offense.
And just on this topic, I would just say that there are some printed copies. You can step up. There are some printed copies on the back table, I believe, of what we referenced earlier. 211 and yeah, resources and.
It just seems like it's more immediate, like really immediate. Like, even getting people to pump out the houses it's impossible. Like, we have someone starting tomorrow, and we somehow got 2 pumps, and there's still standing water because, I'm sorry, we had 2 pumps running, and there's still standing water, and we can't get in the basement. And the mold, I think our neighbors, they're knocking down walls and doing mold testing and all that, and there's tons of it already. Like, everyone lost power, it's hot out, it's bad, and there's people staying in these houses. It's really concerning. I mean, it's enough to lose everything, all your property. Like, for me, it was personal, like, my grandmother just passed away, so like all the memories, we were unpacking everything was on it. So that's just my personal loss, but these are physical things. And luckily, there wasn't like a lot of loss of life, but there are people that don't have any resources to go anywhere else to get, and you're calling these insurance companies and they're not giving you any answers. Like, my uncle has renters that, they're not doing anything. They towed my uncle's truck because all the cars are totaled, and they sent it back. They said, we can't take it. And they're like, well, where do you want to put it? It's like, it's just hard. Like, there's just no resources for people, and I feel like people in it, they have a lot of family and friends coming in, but it is to help, but it is devastating, and a lot of those people are almost like in task paralysis right now because they've lost so much. And I can't imagine living there. Like, I implore you, go down there. It smells so badly. Like, I was fined 5 minutes before I walked into that house on Sunday. And so that wasn't that far. Today, I walked in once, and I was dry heaving on the lawn and can't go back in. Like, it's not, it's devastating. Like, there's catastrophic loss in some of those streets. Like, it's bad. I can't even sum it up, but you have to see it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but just for the sake of time, I know there are other people that would like to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
My name's Michelle. I live on 82nd, right off of Lincoln.
Michelle, could you please turn your microphone on? I think it went out.
So when this happened, I was woken up at 3:30 in the morning because my basement wall blew completely out, and it is now in my house. I'm now displaced. I have no car, and I have no house. And if you were to talk to everyone who came and those that left, insurance will cover nothing for anyone. What are we supposed to do?
Again, Michelle, we can't discuss this with you right now. We can talk to you during recess, or we can talk to you offline, but this is not a time for discussion. This is a time to listen.
Okay, I tried calling.
I hope you please understand that I've had a lot of phone calls I'm trying to keep up on, and I'm also trying to message out to the public. And we've had about 13 foundation collapses and about 58 properties that have been already reported to 211, and I know that's not all of them. So I have your number. It is on my desk. I can show you. I just did not have time to call you back today.
It's just disappointing because we're all waiting for someone to be able to turn this around and say, who is responsible for this? Because it's not the 9 inches of rain. I know I didn't flood my home. I know that there isn't something that I didn't take care of. But everything's lost.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
I just have more questions. Are you currently investigating what the cause of the problem besides the rain itself?
Sir, again, we cannot answer questions during this time. This is just a chance to listen, so I would encourage anybody here to contact me or one of your council members directly. We're meeting daily with engineering department, with public works, with police, with fire, with public health.
So the
but-
investigation is underway then?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're working on everything. Is anybody, sorry.
You know who I am. I've been in contact with you. My name is Katie. I live at 2342 South 82nd Street. I have an ill husband and a small child in my home, and we nearly escaped when our foundation collapsed in our basement. We have a 50-foot wall that is out. We are displaced. My husband has an operation on Friday, and just like all these folks here, they said the same thing. Insurance, nothing. We didn't live in a flood plain. If you look on Google Maps, I encourage you to look at the blue line that runs through our neighborhood. You can see it. It's the tunnel. We've heard all the rumors, you've heard from these other folks, that nothing was done, that there was something wrong with that infrastructure. We don't know. From what I understand, there's public documents about when those grates were opened. We don't know. We'll never know, because who knows when that's going to true up. We're left high and dry and up shit creek, literally. And all these people are in my neighborhood, and I can tell you, I know probably 70% of the people in my neighborhood. And everybody is up in arms about this. We don't know what to do. We don't know where to live. I mean, I was on the phone with these people in the middle of the night while we were escaping our homes or stuck in our homes, on kitchen tables trying to get out, driving my car on high driveways, staying in the neighbor's house because they were on higher ground so they could help us, calling, knocking on windows while people were sleeping with their babies in the house. We don't know what to do. We need a meeting set up or whatever it is, and it needs to be broadcast, and other people need to come, and we need help. We need help. I don't know what else to say. All of these people here They all want to come up here and say something. Where are we supposed to go? There's no funding, there's no nothing. The neighbor on the corner of my house that lives right by that grate at McCarty Park lost everything. I helped load up a dumpster with Chad yesterday. Everything in their home is gone. They have nothing, no coverage, no nothing. I can't even imagine. Something needs to happen.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melanie Vasquez. I live at 2349 South 81st Street. First, I would like to express my disappointment in the fact that I haven't seen any one of my altar people down our street at all, except one that is not even part of our district helping. And I've seen my neighbors help each other, and it is devastating. Water. The other part, I was the emergency alert contact for all of my neighbors. I was already on the roof of my house when those alarms went off. There was already, I had water inside of my kitchen. I was waist deep in water. My foundation just gave out, and that water was coming in like seconds. We had nothing to do, and there was nothing to do. I was the one who texted and called my neighbors because I needed them to wake up. We were already underwater before all of those alarms went off. And it was absolutely devastating how fast it all happened. We're left with nothing. We do not know what to do. I'm also displaced from my home. Anyone that walked down the street in the last 48 hours saw the devastation, and it was very emotional to see the community that we had to rely on each other because no one else was there. Yes, 211 came to my home today, and they gave me more information than what I've been receiving from either one of you. I'm heartbroken for all of my neighbors. We do not know what to do. We are getting nothing. Insurance has denied all of us, and we're left with nothing. I'm heartbroken. We don't know what to do. We have nowhere to turn to. Many of us, yes, we had people to lean on to take us into our homes, but some of us are not that lucky. Some of us are left to actually stay in these homes that are filling with mold almost immediately. The weather, the heat isn't helping. Yes, I understand that is something out of your control, but it is. We need more. We do not know what to do. We're left with this devastation that I just am looking at all day long. I don't know what else to say aside from the fact that I will continue to be your voice in any possible way. I do not know, but know that I share my heartbreak with all of you, and I'm disappointed. I saw no city official down my street, except for Mr. Chad Helmerson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good evening, actually. My name is Chris McLean. I work at the Vainglorious Lion Lounge. And I just wanted to state that I've been working with Councilwoman Novak, and we're working to make sure that we're within all of the rules and regulations and making sure that everything is working properly and that we are being compliant, and we want to make it a great place for everybody to be at and not cause any issues. So I want to make sure that that's being stated, and that she has been very helpful with helping us understand what the rules and regulations are and helping us move forward with everything. So with that, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marie Carlson. I live at 2445 South 82nd Street. First, I do want to also thank Chad for visiting us. It was very much appreciated. I think the only thing that I could add to this is I need you guys to understand the kind of horror that all of these people have been through. There are emotions I didn't know we had. I go to bed okay, and I wake up in the morning thinking my house is gonna fall. We all worry about whether we're going to have a home to go to. We all worry about whether we're going to live through it if we do. And what we want to know as the people is that are supposed to represent us actually will and actually care enough to come out, like she said, and see us. Come out and walk around. We have been there for hours, from early in the morning till it gets dark, because we can't do anything after dark. And we have been helping each other, and what we want is for you guys to help us as well. We want to know that you really give a crap about us. That's what we want. We don't want sympathy. We don't want any of that. We want help. And we want somebody to come out and explain to us. We had to wait for 211 to explain to us what they're doing. We had to wait. Do we have funding with FEMA? I mean, how do we know any of this? And how are any of these people supposed to get through the next few days, much less the next few months, with a hole in their house, or holes in their roofs, or their entire first floor? They have children and no place for them to sleep. This is the most horrifying thing I've ever been through, and I can't imagine that anybody else is going through any less. We want you guys to be a part of this with us, because that's what we think you're supposed to do. So please, please, we implore of you, come out, see what we're going through, talk to the people, and try your best as a city to help the people that live in it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Sutton. I live on 98th and Washington. I understand I've also had flooding, but one thing I do want to say is I really appreciate the help from the police department, the fire department, and DPW that night. I happened to be listening to the scanner with the other 400 people that were online as my basement was flooding, but they worked nonstop to help us. So I just wanted to thank everybody and just make sure that they're recognized. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
Hello, my name is Stephen Chula. I live at, 2220 South 82nd Street. My wife and I have lived in West Allis for nearly 16 years. Mayor Devine, you and I have personally sat and shared beverages and camaraderie. We have loved living in this city. I echo everything else these people have said, every emotion, everything. I'm going to ask that, and it's the same requests. Please come see this, talk to us, take a walk through our homes. We'll let you. There's nothing there anymore. What I request is that the city set up some kind of very prominent page on the City of West Allis' government website right at the top with regular updates, what's happening, information as printout. Not everybody can get here to get a printout. I understand there's various social media sites. Those aren't acceptable in my opinion. The city's website is where this information needs to be. And with very regular updates, hell, even come out, take photos of these places, show people what's happening to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Julia Luna. I live at 2038 South 83rd Street. I've been living in West Allis for almost 30 years. And of course, this never happened. But what I want mainly, besides 211 and waiting for FEMA, are there other resources in Milwaukee County? If, like he said, put a web page on your public West Allis, the City of West Allis site, and say, hey, besides 211, here are other resources for food, for clothing, for shelter, for maybe financial help, emergency, like they say, children should not be sleeping in these homes. I have a neighbor that has cancer and he is suffering and they lost everything, every single thing they have. You know, he's not working, his wife's not working. So it really hurts me to know that we all feel lost. And like, I in my mind, because I live alone, but I have children. In my mind, all I keep thinking is, where do I go? What do I do? Who do I call? Besides 211, they came to my house. So I don't know, do I still call them or them coming to my house is enough? Still call. Okay, but can you give us other resources? It can't be the one and only place. You know, like I know about Hunger Task Force, okay? And I know the Red Cross shelter because the news told me. But I know nothing else. That's all. And I'm advocating not for me, okay? Because I didn't have kids and my first floor is okay. I'm advocating for everybody else that feels completely lost without any information besides hearsay, you know? And you said you have a page of resources. I never saw it. Oh, okay. So that's what I want, and maybe if you can put it, like he said, on the West Ellis City, not Facebook.
There is information on the city's website. There's a pop-up banner on the homepage.
Oh, okay, because I lost.
And if people, I know a lot of people are also saving their batteries because of power outages, but the libraries have computers you can use for free as well.
Okay, and that's all, you know, because I really feel that everyone feels lost, and they feel like they don't know where to go, what to do. A lot of people don't understand, you know, how to access computers, so they need something more. And like they said, it may be more visits with flyers where you guys can give people a list of resources as you're visiting the neighborhoods. That's all. Just we need help, and we feel that nobody was coming. We were feeding each other, helping each other, but we didn't know what else to do. And that's why I'm here, because I thought, you know, I gotta advocate for everybody that's suffering more than me. So I hurt for them, you know, and I feel blessed that I can still live in my house. But I know there's suffering out there, and it really hurts me. So I'm here for my neighbors.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Charvon Carlson. My address is 2445 South 82nd Street. The past few days has been a goddamn nightmare. Complete nightmare. I never thought I'd wake up to a hole in my basement wall. On my block alone, there are 5 houses without a wall on their foundation. On my block alone, of all of those houses, the insurance company is helping no one. And everyone is trying to figure out what to do next, and not having the resources or anyone talking to them. I'm one of those people who does all the research, goes to all of the websites. So between me searching Facebook, me searching the West Dallas page, me going to the state, me checking on the county's website, and I grab the articles and I email and I text them to my neighbors and then tell them, okay, go tell Heather U-Haul has 30 days of free storage because she's got to get everything out of her house because her insurance company told her, sorry, we can't help you, even though she has no basement wall on the side of her house. And then with all of the major damage to everybody's basement where their walls crumbled, I feel like there has to be something more than just, oh, we had a 1,000-year flood. This happens. People, and I know my neighbors. One neighbor across the street where the whole back of his house wall is gone, it's an immaculate, micromanaging level, immaculate, take care of his house, inside and out, his property, and I mean, all the time, and always helping everybody else to help them maintain their properties and what have you, and his back wall is gone. So this isn't just, oh, the water just came in. The other issue I have is that my next door neighbor heard the boom, 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 and when it stopped, the water receded. So what was that? Because I heard it too. I heard the whatever that jack or that noise, boom, boom, woof. And then as soon as it stopped, the water all of a sudden was like, okay, we don't need to be up here with you anymore. It was gone. On 82nd Street, that water just went from that booming stopped, and the water cleared. So what was that? Was that a drain unclogged that we forgot about? I know that at least in that part of 82nd Street, I don't know about anybody else because I haven't been able to get to anybody else. We are dealing with major structural damage to almost every house on that street. And at this point, if the insurance companies can't help and we're not going to get any help from any city or any assistance, you're going to end up with a neighborhood of abandoned houses because nobody can afford the 50, 100K that people are telling us that it's going to cost to give us a wall back so we can live in our house. And that's all. I just wanted to share that, how grave this is and how important it is that we hear from our city people who are representing us. I don't care even if the 211, oh, and by the way, the 211 guy, he said, we can't tell you anything. We have to collect the data, make sure everybody fills out 211, but we don't know anything until we send the data up, and then they will make a decision based on how many people filled out the data. So while we had people tell us about the town hall today, did we have people walking the street, each houses and telling them, make sure you fill out 211? Because we know that you are in a state of unrest and worry and crazy, and everybody has a different response to tragedy. Are we walking up these neighborhoods as representatives of us and letting people know, I get it, you probably haven't seen your phone yet. You probably haven't gotten that email yet. You probably don't research like so-and-so does. But please, here's the form. Use my computer if you need to. We know that all can't be fixed overnight, but something's got to be done. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
I'd just like to say I have 2 empty bedrooms. My kids are all moved out. So if somebody is in dire need, let me know. My bathroom is the size of a bedroom closet, but I have air conditioning and I have 2 open bedrooms right now. So I'm offering my home.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments under public participation? Technically, no, but you can have the guy behind you's minute, I guess.
So I was going to say, just as like an observation, the flood has been catastrophic to kind of a few. Everyone else was kind of, well, not, I don't want to say a few, but other areas were inconvenienced. And in the areas that are really bad, I imagine it's like what it felt like after Hurricane Katrina, like the total devastation. And it almost feels like it wasn't a big enough disaster to get the support we need because it wasn't, it wasn't a large enough area so severely impacted, but the area that was, was bad. And then I just want to state, I would be interested in like a third-party engineering review of just the drainage system and how, if in any way the state fair had impacted that either, because like people said, the amount of rain we got shouldn't have been this catastrophic to kind of like a one area. That's it, thank you.
You. Any other questions or comments? You can have 2 of his minutes too.
It'll be quick, I promise. Don't be naive about FEMA and funding. The data that I've been able to research as far as what people have been given from that, if you look back to the North Carolina floods, those people got $700 when their homes were washed away. In Hawaii, those people with the fire got $600 when their houses were destroyed. We can't rely on that either. Just be smart about what you guys are going to do and how you're going to move forward.
Thank you. Any other comments under public participation this evening? Gotcha. Thank you. All right, is anybody else gonna get up to the microphone if you could? Otherwise, we can talk during recess. Well, you're welcome to use 5 minutes at the microphone if you choose. Thank you. Okay. I do too. All right. Thank you. All right. We're supposed to.
Also contact Congressman Moore and report to Congressman Moore. I mean, I know these are people, but you need to let the Congressman
Ms. Sutton,
know.
and we have to.
Sorry, I'm done.
Yeah, we
but I
can't
just
have
want-
you talking to other people through our public comment. Sorry. Okay. If there's no one else, I'll close public participation. Like I said before, any of us will be happy to talk to you during recess to go over any more depth that we can. We'll close public participation. We'll move on to section F. Our standing committees will be meeting during recess. Those room numbers are listed on the top of page 2. So if you are here for a license or a permit or some direct business with the city, please make sure you know what room to go to during recess. And if you're unsure, we will try to direct you to the right spot when we break for recess. Going to item G, the mayor's report. Just want to take a minute to thank our public works crews, thank our fire responders, thank our police officers, thank our building inspectors for going out and trying to assess damage. I honestly, people, I feel it, I hear it. I was out Sunday, not in your neighborhood. I was on 83rd Street and I was visiting about 3 businesses, but I also felt that my time was equally valuable trying to get a mass message out to the entire community and not talking one-on-one with everybody. I tried to balance that. We have information on our social. We have information on those that have signed up for news alerts and text alerts. We do have things on our website. We have resources on our website with home rehab loans, things like that. We're trying to get as much information out as possible. And I know you're tired of hearing about it, but everyone I talk to at emergency management is stressing the collection of data right now to try to get, and I can't speak to what Hawaii was or North Carolina, but experts in this are telling me the steps, and I rely heavily on the offices of emergency management when we have emergencies. So I will speak for the 10 aldermen if they will allow me, but we are taking information and trying to convey it from what we see as experts in the field, and that would be the same people we would rely on if it were a train derailment, if it were a tornado, if it was anything along those lines. And I guarantee you, nobody sitting up here feels good about this. We all realize some of us did get water, some didn't, but we hurt for you. I hurt for you. I am struggling with this. I am not perfect. I'm not an expert. And we feel you. And I will look any one of you in the eye and tell you this. But it's not my area of expertise. We have plans. We train for things like this, and we're going through those processes right now. I will ask for your patience, and I have talked to Miss Katie today. I was going to try to get out this afternoon, but I had things coming up. Same reason I did not get back to Michelle this afternoon. I was trying to manage both working internally as well as working externally, and it's been a lot. So I don't know what to say. I ask for your patience. We are going to continue to try to work for you and get you the most help that we can. I'm sorry, we can't, we have to talk offline. We can't just converse from the chambers, I'm sorry. So that, I mean, I guess I'm gonna conclude my mayor's report. I just want to thank our staff again for all the extra hours they put in on a Sunday and through the night, trying to get the refuse and the garbage out of the neighborhoods. And we're still working on it, and we'll be back at it tomorrow morning, if not later tonight. So I'll now turn things over to the alderperson's reports. Alderwoman Noling.
Mayor, is it okay, Marissa, if I go ahead?
Oh.
Is that okay?
Can I take it first?
You sure can.
Okay. I'm gonna cry and we're all gonna be good with that, right? My elder report today is gonna be more personal than usual. Hey, I'm part of the team. I didn't want to be part of this team. My neighborhood, including my own home, was fiercely affected by the recent emergency. I still have all 4 walls, so I guess I'm on the winning team. But I feel you because I'm right there. There's nothing in the world that prepares you to see the home that you have made with love filled with water or completely destroyed. It's wild. And while my family is fortunate compared to the people that have lost homes, vehicles, and more, the pain across our community is real and profound. I would like to extend my sincerest gratitude to the city and the county teams for their swift and compassionate response following this tragic rainfall event. Your presence and action have made a difference. To name just a few, the city of West Allis. I work in emergency management, so while this seems like maybe it was a slow response, I need you to know that this was the quickest response I've ever seen rolled out ever. And it wasn't just a half thought out response. This was a really comprehensive rollout. The response plan execution was nothing short of responsible and remarkable. The communication has been there. Now, admittedly, we all want more communication, but the reliable places that you always get the news from the city, the social media, the website, were updated instantly anytime there was information to be had. To DPW, I see you, I hear you on my streets. Dumpsters are being swapped out nonstop. The community dumpsters have been an absolute lifesaver. Cleanup materials are being picked up so fast. It is incredible. I know the hours have been long and you have gone above and beyond. So thank you. We could not rebound to the point that we have rebounded without DPW pulling some ungodly long hours. To West Allis Fire and Police, I can't imagine what you have seen over the past few days. There was a post that I think was you guys where you're getting like front end loaded across to go help neighbors. It's wild. So thank you for being there for our community and responding to every call for help. To the Milwaukee County crew, the fact that 211 is already out knocking on doors, gathering information and connecting with those affected, the proactive outreach is deeply appreciated. I know we've all got roughly 1 million things to do. We're all overwhelmed, and if you're like me, you've got a little bit of task paralysis because there's so much to do that you don't know where to start. But when we get on the other side of this, reach out to your county supervisor and tell them thank you, because this is not a small feat either. I know this isn't everyone. There are many more who deserve thanks. In the face of devastation, the coordination, urgency, and care brought stability and support when we needed it most. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and thank you for standing with us, acting quickly, and keeping our neighborhoods, helping us begin that path to recovery. On a personal note, I'd like to say thank you to my friends and family who showed up in a big way. I recognize that we were fortunate to have people show up for us. A massive shout out to Alderwoman Patty and her husband Adam. They have been incredible. Patty has been at my house hauling out so much wet drywall and has watched so many of my belongings go to the curb. Same thing to Alderman Chad. The only reason we were able to get our basement dry is because he showed up with a dehumidifier and a fan and Sawzall so we could get wet furniture out of our basement. To Tracy Utke, Patrick Schloss, Allison, Adam, Dave, Jenica, Bailey, Evan, Todd, Erica, and my dad who drove up from Kansas City. I am so grateful and thank you for the assistance. I will close with a note to the community. One of my favorite quotes from Mr. Rogers is a conversation that he had with his mother. It says, "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping." So if you were fortunate to be unaffected by this flood, please consider being a helper. If you follow me on social media, right now I've got a request out there for those helpers because I'm getting calls from constituents in the middle of cleaning up my own crisis, and we're connecting them with people who can come help and clean up. So please consider being a helper. Many of our neighbors don't have that support system or they are unable to do that necessary cleanup work. So this is my call to action to you. Toss on a pair of work gloves, grab a contractor bag, and lend a hand. Let's show up and let's see what West Allis is really made of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine.
Alderwoman Novak.
As a lot of you are my D4 residents, I will say I'm sorry I haven't been on your street, but I have been out there. You, as Marissa said it, I've been there. I've been out on streets, and when I'm not there, I've been hauling garbage for others to the dumpsters. I promise you, I wore yellow work gloves and sweat so far through them that my hands are still stained yellow. I can't get it off. I promise you, if you want to reach out, I will answer your call. If you want to give me your number, I will text you. I have a list already of people that are listed as flood victims in my phone that I am texting nonstop with to give them as many updates as soon as I get them. But I promise you, I have been on the ground. I have been helping those. I've seen the devastation. I know, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how horrific it is for you, but I've seen how horrific it is for so many. I've seen people's basements. I've seen their houses. I've hauled, like Marissa said, their prized possessions to the trash. It's devastating, and I promise you that we are all helping as best we can. I've been answering calls, emails. I've been out there hauling trash. I promise you every day, my husband and I, that's all we've done after work until we've gone to sleep is haul stuff. And if you want to give me your information, I promise you we will help as much as we can. And like Marissa said, I've been working with her as well for constituents of mine that have said they needed help. I've got them her information to get that list of people that can help out. I promise you we're all trying, and I can't begin to imagine the devastation you're going through. But if you want to reach out, I'm happy to help you with anything I can.
Thank you. Any other alderpersons' reports?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move for approval of the July 15th, 2025 Common Council minutes.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. If there are no corrections or adjustments to the minutes, all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Ayes have it, the minutes are approved. Standing committee reports, we have none on the agenda this evening. So we'll go to item K.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move that item 6 be referred to the Public Works Committee for action tonight. And do any other council members wish for separate action on any other items in our consent agenda? Then Mayor Devine, I move on item 6.
If there's no objection, we will refer that to Public Works. All right, so ordered. And then on the balance,
And then I move for approval of the balance of the consent agenda, item K.
Second.
there's a motion and a second. If there is no other discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Nolan.
Aye.
Rhodes.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
Keen. Novak.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Mayor Devine.
That motion carries.
Yeah, sorry.
Alderman Haas.
I jumped on you, Mayor Devine. Sorry,
good.
sir.
All good.
I move that the council stand in recess until the conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second?
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess. Good evening. Let's call the Common Council back to order. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll and determine a quorum.
Who's keeping track? Alderpersons Noling? Here. Rote?
Here.
Turner?
Here.
Weigel?
Here.
Grisham? Grobe? Here. Haas?
Here.
Halverson?
Here.
Keen? Here. Novak? Here. 10 present.
We have a quorum. We will begin with the Administration Committee, and I will ask the clerk to read that item.
The Administration Committee recommends adoption of item 46.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance with the committee report.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Noling?
Aye.
Rote?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Weigel?
Aye.
Grisham? Grobe?
Aye.
Haas?
Aye.
Halverson?
Aye.
Keen?
Aye.
Novak? Aye. 10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. And then we will move on to the Economic Development Committee. Appointment?
Okay.
She's allowed
Who's
one every
keeping
6
track
months.
again? Sorry, everybody.
That's
The
okay. Thank
Administration
you.
Committee recommends approval of item 45.
I just thought you knew something I didn't, so I let it go.
No.
Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Thank you, Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? We did 46. This is 45. Yeah. Now that we've approved her contract, we're going to actually hire her. Okay. If there's no discussion, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Noling? Aye. Rote?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Weigel?
Aye.
Grisham? Aye. Grobe?
Aye.
Haas?
Aye.
Halverson?
Aye.
Keen? Aye. Novak? Aye. 10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Motion carries. Now we will go to the Economic Development Committee.
I will read out items 47 and 52 separately. So we'll start with item 47. The Economic Development Committee recommends granting of item 47 contingent on the removal of the public entertainment license.
Okay.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance with the committee report.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there any discussion or are there any questions on item 47? We're good on 47? All right, then, if there's no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Noling? Aye. Rote?
No.
Turner?
Aye.
Weigel?
Aye.
Grisham? Aye. Grobe?
Aye.
Haas?
Aye.
Halverson?
Aye.
Keen?
Aye.
Novak? Aye. 9 in favor, 1 opposed.
Motion carries. And then we will take up item 52 next. Okay. Do you want to read it out? Or did we?
I have not read it out
Okay.
yet. The Economic Development Committee recommends granting of item 52.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I will be abstaining from voting.
thank you.
I move in accordance with the committee report.
Thank you. And then I'll ask the clerk to call the roll for item 52.
Alderperson Noling?
Enthusiastic aye.
Rote?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Weigel?
Aye.
Grisham?
Aye.
Grobe?
Aye.
Haas?
Aye.
Halverson?
Aye.
Keen?
Aye.
9 in favor with 1 abstaining.
Thank you. Motion carries. And then do we have a third separate action or are we on the balance now? Okay, then we'll adopt the balance.
All right, so the Economic Development Committee recommends granting of items 48, 49, 50, denial of item 51, and granting of item 53.
And 54? That was a discussion item. No action was taken. Okay.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance with the committee report.
Okay, thank you, Alderwoman Keene. Is there any discussion? Just for everyone's knowledge, item 49, Fat Patties is not the same as Fatty Patty on Highway 100 north of Greenfield Avenue. So we've got burgers stretched there along Highway 100. If there is no other discussion on the balance, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Then we'll go to the Public Safety Committee.
Mayor Devine, I believe that we're going to have some discussion on item 56.
Yep.
Just to be clear.
Okay. Do you want to read out the balance then of 55 and?
The Public Safety Committee recommends granting of item 55, passing of item 58, and adoption of item 59.
Mayor Devine, I move for approval of the Public Safety Committee report.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Noling?
Aye.
Roach?
Aye.
Turner?
Aye.
Weigel?
Aye.
Grisham?
Aye.
Grobe?
Aye.
Haas?
Aye.
Helverson?
Aye.
Keen?
Aye.
Novak?
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Those items are approved, motion carries. Then we'll take up item 56. Yes, please.
Okay. The Public Safety Committee recommends the Public Safety recommends that the City Attorney's Office draft a summons and complaint to revoke the liquor license unless the debt is paid to the delinquent vendors, and then allow the agent time to clear the issues with her background check.
Thank you, and I see the attorney has popped up, so I will turn it over to Attorney Decker. I think your mic might be off. Oh, that's most unfortunate. Try that one again. No.
Check, check. Hello, hello.
There we go.
Interesting. Never had that happen. Good thing there's 3 strikes in baseball. In speaking with a member of the committee who crafted this motion, it's contingent upon something happening and requiring staff to make a discretionary call that typically should be left to the council. So what I'd propose is that instead of this motion, I'd ask that to be amended to simply postpone this matter until a later date. In speaking with the original person who made the motion, 6 months was what was suggested, so I would just ask the council to amend this one to simply postpone the item for 6 months. It would allow the applicant to take care of whatever action they need to take care of, come back before the committee, and ensures that the council doesn't yield any authority to staff on a license granting.
Madam
So
Chair.
if I could, 6 months, can they come back before if things are cleaned up before 6 months?
Then it's a good point. So if you wish to, you could say that it's postponed until the call of the chair of the Public Safety Committee, or 6 months, so that you don't have it just lingering forever.
Thank you. Okay.
So
Madam
whatever
Chair.
occurs first.
It's me.
Yeah, that's, Mayor Devine.
Can they still, so with this being done, you would call them back in once they would they have to reapply?
If I
No.
may
Sure.
defer to you on that, because my question would be, I know that they have a provisional license only until the end of August. So if we're giving them 6 months and they don't comply within the remainder of this month, technically, can we issue them another provisional for that amount of time that we are allowing them?
Yeah, that was one of my questions as well, with it being 6 months. Are they still allowed to serve alcohol during that time?
Yes, so the provisional is something that the clerk would issue when there's still a decision to be pending before the council. That's the point of the provisional license, is it covers that gap. If the council is going to move to postpone a renewal application due to due process, we would not be able to stop them from operating. So if the council wished, you could take action tonight, and there'd be a very short timeline for them to act, and then ultimately would lose the license if they didn't act timely. But the council does not have to take that action. If you want to keep the renewal pending, that's your option as well. They'd be operating under the old license, essentially, in that manner, because the council made an affirmative decision to postpone. So If that's the council's wishes, you could do this. They could continue to operate under the old license. And this is just a discretionary act by the council to essentially hold a renewal application longer than typically what would happen.
Mayor Devine?
Alderwoman Grisham.
To clarify, being Alderman Haas made this motion, he would need to amend that motion, if I'm correct?
Any member of the council could
Any
amend.
member can? Okay. I have no problem doing that. I think it is more, it just makes more sense. So if we can do what you said and amend it to the 6 months with
So-
being able to operate with their license still and then
Yeah, so.
make good on it.
For a motion to postpone for, until the call of the chair or 6 months, whatever occurs sooner, that would be a motion that's in order right now if you wish
Okay,
to do that.
so motion to postpone.
So the call of the chair or 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. Any objections? Questions?
Question, Mr.
Alderman
Mr.
Weigel.
Mayor? I wasn't in the room. This applicant is delinquent with only one vendor?
Correct. There were two separate actions that needed to be taken, and I'm most certain, she said she'll clear up that,
Yeah, I was
that
curious.
debt immediately.
Did they explain it, what it was? Just confusion? It's,
It was a detail that she stated the person who was in charge of paying that vendor, which caused me confusion, was gone for 2 months.
Out of the country.
Yes, and then she was gone for a month and didn't have access, so yeah, so
But they
it
were
was,
paying the rest of their vendors. It's not like they're in arrears.
I don't know if they
with
have
a
more
bunch of
vendors.
Well, was it Capital Houston, or was it Beer Capital?
Beer Capital.
It was Capital Houston.
Capital
Yeah.
Houston.
Oh, it was, sorry.
Yeah, so that's a liquor company.
Yeah, so
I imagine
Daisy said she can clear that up
that's-
immediately, that's really a non-issue, but we had to take action on it.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, the motion carries. Thank you. Public
So,
Works.
Mr. Chair, I'm very sorry about that, but that would be the motion to amend would be what's approved. I just want the council to then approve the motion as amended.
Okay.
Just in case someone disagrees with the outcome, it's just procedurally it helps. Thank you.
Yes, good call. As amended, discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that motion also carries. No Public Works, correct? We do. Oh, yeah. That's why you're the clerk and I'm just a mayor. I thought you were flipping me off or something. That's usually not in the council chambers, it's when you drive by me. But item 6, I'll ask the clerk to read out item 6 from
The Public Works Committee recommends passing of item 6.
I move in accordance with the committee report, Mayor Devine.
Thank you. Any discussion on item 6? If not, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Noling. Aye. Roth.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe. Aye. Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
Keen. Novak.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move that the council stand adjourned until our next scheduled meeting, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.